Hey, welcome to my very first YouTube video. I sure hope there's many more to follow. So be sure to come back and tell all your friends about it. In these videos, I'm going to be reading my original flash fictions. And I always promise you two things. First, as a flash fiction, they'll never be longer than maybe 5 or 6 minutes. That's it. But second, more important than that, I will always give you a smash you in the face steam locomotive coming right down the tracks. Surprise ending you'll never see coming. I promise. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Let's get started. Sure, it's risky, not to mention hazardous, being a mule. With contraband inserted way up inside where the sun don't shine, things can go south in a hurry. The mule. Ricky Montagliano was a no account. He knew he was a no account because every day since he was 12 and started hanging out with all those hoodlum buddies of his mama told him that. Ricky, you're a no account and you ain't never gonna amount to nothing. Why can't you be like your brother, Ambrose? Of course, she was referring to her other son, Dr. Ambrose Montagliano, her precious little Ambrose, who had graduated first in his class at Harvard Medical School. By the time he was 17, Ricky had already been sent to juvie twice, shoplifting the first time, grand theft the second. Stole a brand new $87,000 Corvette right off the lot. After doing 3 years for the vet, Ricky went right back at it. A smash and grab at the most expensive jewelry store in the mall. He should have known better. $100 grand worth of diamonds is not easy to pawn. Everybody knows that. Everybody but no account Ricky Montagliano. Well, of course, the judge threw the book at Ricky, handed him a nice fat 20-year sentence. Poetic justice, the judge said. 20 years for his 20th birthday. Well, sometimes good behavior does pay off. Somehow, Ricky managed to keep his no-account nose clean. All that sucking up to the warden didn't hurt any. The parole board released Ricky after he did 14 years. They thought they were giving a rehabilitated Ricky a fresh start. Oh, they should have known better. In spite of learning to be one hell of a welder at the prison repair shop, the pull from the dark side was just too strong. Ricky quit his factory job in less than a week and did another smash and grab at the mall jewelry store. The rent-a-cop barely got his donut down as Ricky ran out the door. Oh, Ricky's mother was right. He'd always be a no account. Soon after that, Ricky fell in with the wrong crowd. Again. Charlie and Lloyd Parker were notorious international jewel smugglers. The Parker brothers had heard about Ricky from some guy who knew some guy who was Ricky's cellmate in prison. Recruiting Ricky to be their mule, it was way too easy. It was a rainy Saturday night. Ricky landed in Johannesburg on board a Lufthansa flight from Amsterdam. By 6 o'clock Sunday morning, in a musty warehouse in Mulbarton, the Parker brothers' people, thanks to a couple of jars of Vaseline, had inserted 3 balloons into, well, you know, one of Ricky's convenient body cavities. They were stuffed with $25 million worth of loose-cut diamonds. Come, you are not to be using no toilet, Mr. Ricky, they warned the first-time mule as they shoved him into the back seat of the Corolla and sped back to Tambo International. In spite of the pillow they gave him to sit on, Ricky cringed every time the Corolla hit a pothole. FBI agents, acting on an anonymous tip from some man with a rather distinguished voice, had organized a little welcoming party for Ricky when he landed at JFK. Oh, the shock in Ricky's eyes as the 767 pulled up to gate 27B and an ambulance was waiting on the tarmac. Agents and EMTs stormed the jetway and nabbed the Strangely compliant Ricky. The Fibbies cooled their heels in the waiting room while the surgeon performed a preliminary endoscopic procedure to determine just how extensive the retrieval would be. He came out of the OR an hour later and escorted them to his office to review the findings. They were shocked as they watched the videos. Gentlemen, as you can clearly see from this endoscopic video clip, the patient's colon had already been, as we say, evacuated. Other than a few benign polyps, there was nothing for me to remove. He clicked his mouse and closed the laptop. Then he continued. Apparently, your mule, as you gentlemen call him, used the onboard restroom on the flight from Johannesburg. Ah, crap, said the special agent in charge of the operation. Those damn international flights jettison their holding tanks way out over the Atlantic. By now, Mr. Montagliano's frozen turd bomb has sunk. Well, of course, the Fibbies had to let Ricky go. No evidence, no crime. With his new fake name and fake ID, getting a passport was easy. 6 weeks later, Ricky and that anonymous tipster sipped pina coladas on the beach in Rio. They grinned like a couple of jackasses eating cactus as they toasted their $25 million fortune. Well, Mom was right, Ricky. You certainly are a no account, said Dr. Ambrose Montagliano.